Hi, I am Calida, and today I'm going to be showing you how to work on olive complexions.
And I'm Melissa. As an olive undertone, it's either too peach, it's too yellow.
So today, using Makeup Forever, I'm going to be showing you how to mix a neutral foundation with something a bit more golden. And just to show you why I like to mix a cool with a golden undertone foundation. Sometimes if you go too cool neutral, it'll start to wash you out. And if you go too warm, it will start to show too pink. But when you mix them together, it gives you a more even and natural complexion.
Wow, kind of just disappeared into my skin.
So the ratio I like to use is 2 parts neutral and 4 parts golden. And now you're just gonna go ahead and mix that neutral with that golden tone. And I find a lot of the times we gravitate towards a neutral foundation because we feel like it looks natural, but then you can start to feel a little washed out, hence why I like to mix in that golden tone.
Yeah, there's usually always something missing with the neutral, so I love that you're doing that.
And now taking Sephora's Pro Foundation number 40 brush.
I love that one, so soft.
And I feel like you made it pretty easy for me today because of your gorgeous tan.
You can really tell in the winter if you're olive because you start to look really green.
I definitely agree. I think depending on the season, that definitely affects how much of the oliveness shows through your skin. Usually in the winter, they can start to feel a bit sallow, washed out, because the green really starts to poke through. And in the summer, they get this gorgeous golden bronze, because they almost have like a natural color corrector, green canceling out the red. When working with a cream foundation like Makeup Forever's HD Skin, the reason why I like to press it into the brush is so that when I apply it, it goes on a lot smoother and less patchy, so that it keeps everything looking even. I like to work with denser brushes because I find when you use something that's a little bit looser, it not only makes it more difficult to blend, but it kind of works against you. So you're having to do more to achieve the same result. And typically, I like to work from the center outward. Most times on the perimeter of the face, you don't need as much coverage as you do in the center.
Is it normal that my face is a lot lighter than the rest of my body?
I mean, when you tan, yes.
I want to match my
well,
body.
yeah, there's a lot of different factors that play into that. And like I said, it really just all depends on how often you're in the sun. Usually this is what sees the sun the most. You're usually covered up from the neck down. If not, I mean,
Maybe not.
whatever you like.
Scandalous.
Now that we've finished complexion, this is where I tend to like to contour and bronze. The reason I like them to be more muted is because sometimes if they're too vibrant, the saturation starts to feel a bit off. So using Makeup Forever's Color Crayon in 506, which is a very muted contour shade, I'm gonna apply this all over the perimeter of her face, cheekbone, as well as the outer perimeter of her forehead. And like the foundation, we're going to press it directly into the brush. And I typically like to take it a bit higher than where there's hollowness in her cheekbone. A lot of bronzers tend to have a lot of red pigment in them, which can sometimes show up too red on olive complexions. One of my go-to brands is Makeup Forever. And then just to show you, what I also love to do is to take that same contour into the eyes, and you can use the same brush. The reason I like this brush as well is because it has a nice pointed tip, which allows you to really get into the crevice of these smaller areas. You could pretty much do just about your entire face with this one brush.
Versatile
She's
little brush.
versatile. Some of the biggest mistakes I see with someone who has an olive complexion, they tend to go towards shadows that are either too vibrant, too bright, or just a little too red. Yes, no.
Wow, look at that. Is the same person? I need you to do my makeup every day.
I would love that. So right now I'm just really making sure things are nice and soft and blended.
Is this an eyeshadow brush?
It is. I like to use fluffier brushes for blending. It really helps with softening products without moving them too much.
I would have never thought to use an eyeshadow brush for it.
Yeah.
So good.
Lastly, hitting the jawline. I usually like to start right under the ear, bringing it right under the chin.
Did you guys just see that transformation happen right now? Who is she? Look at that. Before? Oh yeah, so much better. It's like a facelift without the facelift, you know?
Her budget-friendly over here.
Budget-friendly facelift.
And then using that same Makeup Forever palette, I'm gonna mix this neutral bronzing shade with this warmer bronzing shade. And for this, I just like to use equal parts onto the back of the hand where you place that original contour, using our same favorite brush.
One-stop shop.
One-stop shop. And I'm applying that in areas where she would naturally tan. So right here at the top of the cheek, kind of in the center.
Yeah, just imagine me by the beach getting a tan. You're getting sun right here.
And then for the forehead, I don't like to use too much bronzer. I just kind of take it directly on top of where I place that contour and soften it into the hairline. Typically, if you have an olive complexion, the under eyes start to look a little darker. This is why I like to do all of my foundation, bronzer, and contour prior, so I can create some coverage before applying any concealer. I also like to take that bronzer shade and apply it around the perimeter of the lip, because I typically like to use cooler, also more muted tones.
Is that low-key double like the size of my lips or what? Because it looks so good.
I'm also taking that bronzer and pushing it into the inner part of her brow bone. Now it's time for concealer. In this case, usually you can go in with something that is either a little bit peachier. I like to say salmon because you don't want to go with anything that's too orange, because then you're kind of fighting against yourself. So one thing I like to do is to take a concealer that already has a bit of a natural peachiness to it. This is Tower 28's Swipe Concealer in shade HH.
I love this one. This is my favorite concealer of all time.
And like the foundation, I like to use something a bit dense, but also a bit fluffy to prevent applying too much. And using Sephora's Pro Concealer brush in number 57, I'm pressing that Tower 28 concealer directly into the bristles, so that when I apply it, it's nice and light. Hence why I like to do complexion before concealer, because I can get away with using a little less. And you can honestly stop here if you would like. I'm gonna take it up a little bit with a brighter concealer after.
Do you like a brighter under eye or one that's closer to skin color for olive undertone?
For olive skin tones, I typically like to keep it more natural, but for events, I think it just depends on the occasion. What I had mentioned about that blue and purple showing under the eye a bit more in olive complexions, that also goes for other parts of the face as well, which typically is like the corner of the mouth, the outer part of the nose. And using that same shade of Tower 28, I'll also use that as a base for the lid of her eye. And it really just starts to give you a really even base to work off of. So using a peach translucent powder, I'm gonna lightly set her under eye. And I'll also take that around the center of her face, as well as on the lids of her eyes. The same way that I tackle contour and bronzer is the same way that I tackle blush. I like to use two shades. This is MAC's Glow Play. Super soft, you can build, starting super light, going to something a bit more vibrant. These are the shades in True Harmony and Ginger Luck.
I love Ginger Luck.
Honestly, one of my favorites.
Ginger Luck has that coraliness that I typically reach for in a blush.
Yeah, it's one of those shades that I feel like sits in between a little bit of color and vibrancy without being too bright or overwhelming. Using the F1 by Makeup by Mario, and I typically like to work in pressing motions, as I do with most of my application process. I just feel it creates less streakiness, keeps it looking smooth, from the temples, down the top of the cheekbone, into the apple.
The formula is so interesting because it feels like still really glowy, but it's also blurring the cheek.
Very much so. And that has to do with that bouncy clay texture. And then now using Ginger Luck, I'm gonna take that just a bit higher on her cheekbone. A little bit on the outer corners of the forehead, just to kind of create the same story throughout the face. And now for the eyes. The great thing is we already have them prepped, and I'm gonna be going in with Makeup by Mario's Cool and Warm eyeshadow palettes. First, I'm gonna start with the warm palette, and gonna focus mainly on this bottom row, just because there are more muted browns, as well as like more peachy, taking this really nice soft brown shade. I'm gonna go directly into the crease, carving it out. And what's great, I feel like it works to your advantage, because I feel like the green in your skin and the fact you already have hazel eyes just helps these warm shades pop even more. And when blending in the crease, you really want to pull that in to the same place where I took the contour, where the bridge of the nose meets the brow. This will kind of help with contouring the nose as well.
I also love a blown out lash line because it almost neutralizes the dark circles more. Also prevents creasing in that one spot that's so stubborn, you know?
Yeah, and it's almost like double setting because you're using two forms of powder under the eye. And then using Makeup by Mario's Dark Chocolate Kohl Pencil, I'm gonna go ahead and push it into her top lash line. So look straight down for me. This is like a super rich, chocolatey brown, not too much red, it's more on the cool side. And we'll use this basically as a liner. Using that same brush that I applied the shadow with, I love to work with Kohls because they're so creamy and easy to blend. creating the effect of a really nice soft wing.
I think this is the definition of when someone says they want smoky but natural. This is it.
And then now using the shade Beaming Brighter by MAC in their Dazzle Shadow Liquids. It's this really nice golden shade. I'm gonna take it directly on the center of her eye.
Wow.
Very effortless, easy to do. I always love a nice, almost like silver gold, kind of sits in between the two.
A little neutral.
Very neutral. And then in the inner corners, I'm gonna go ahead and apply MAC's Extended Play Giga Black Mascara. And don't worry if you get any mascara on your lid. Let it completely dry and it'll come right off. And that is without a curl. Melissa also has these gorgeous bottom lashes, so a little mascara goes a long way.
There's not a lot of them, but they're kind of long.
And then using the shade in Limitless Brown by Makeup Forever, I'm going to apply it to the back of my hand. And using Makeup by Mario's brush E6, I'm gonna press it into the brush and apply it to the outer perimeter of the lips, giving a really soft, sculpted effect. And for the same reason we kept everything else muted is the same reason we're keeping it nice and cool for the lips.
I'm immediately picking this up after this video because I absolutely love the undertone of this brown.
And now I'm gonna take a really nice soft pink lipstick by MAC, using the other side of that brush directly to the center of the lip. I also like to take it into the lip liner, and then using a clear lip gloss, also by MAC, the iconic lip gloss.
I feel really naked.
so
My brows being like bare is like, oh my gosh, my favorite thing in the whole world.
And then using a clear brow set by Rare Beauty.
So good.
I like that it's super flexible. It doesn't really flake, which is nice.
And the tiny wand.
Look at it. I always like to back comb, meaning going against the grain of the hair and then directing it,
Just the final look.
giving her a really nice structured grouped brow. I feel like I could stop there, unless you want
Can you keep
more.
going? Keep going. I'm just gonna take a picture of this and study this every single time I do my makeup.
I love
I'm
it.
like, I need to do this every day.